fellow speakers, honorable judges, ladies and gentlemen, Mom, good morning. Could you ever imagine an act of terror happening in our church? Could you possibly even think that many fellow Christians right here could die on the spot from the shot of a gun, even in the middle of prayer? It might sound too awful to be true, but that's exactly what happened in Charleston, South Carolina last year. 9 people were killed as a man opened fire in the Emmanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church. This is unquestionably an act of terrorism. You've heard about it before, terrorism. Whether you've seen it on the news or heard it in history class, the name is everywhere. I'm sure you all know a brief idea of what it is, so let's just simplify the definition into layman's terms. Terrorism is the use of violence, intimidation, and hate in order to push forward one's ideals and political agenda. It's often hard to believe what drives these people to do such inhumane things. Over the past few years, terrorism is not just becoming a huge threat to our nation, but to our very own Orthodox Church as well. As an example, many of you know about the infamous 9/11 attacks. But did you know that although unintentional, the St. Nicholas Church collapsed along with the Twin Towers? Today, the Freedom Tower stands tall where the Twin Towers once stood, and the St. Nicholas Shrine is being built in place of the church respectively. And it shows that just because we've been knocked down does not mean we cannot get back up. Although our church fell down physically, it stayed structured spiritually more than ever. However, these attacks have changed us greatly. As hard as it may sound, we need to be able to forgive those who have done us wrong, and as Orthodox Christians, we need not to hate others because of events like these. It is the goal of many Islamic extremists, and even these days some politicians, to spread Islamophobia in order to declare war on religion. And another crusade is something we do not need. We need to let everyone know that they cannot stop us from practicing our very own faith. I'm sure that while we attend church, fear of a terrorist attack isn't even on the back of our minds. There's an irony of not attending church in fear of a strike, since it's a sanctuary of peace and prayer. We should not fear, for God is with us. However, in areas of the Middle East or throughout the world where there's conflict, attending church is quite difficult. We should never take the fact that we have better access to church for granted. Instead, we need to reach out to those who need our help and pray for them in order so that they too may have a better connection with God. As Orthodox Christians, we need to be able to stay united and stand up to terrorism. We need to help those who are being afflicted by this plague, and not to respond with violence, but instead to continue to be the loving Orthodox Christians we are today. I would like to close out the speech with an excerpt from 1 John chapter 4, and I guess you'll see why. God is love, and he who abides in love abides in God, and God in him. Thank you, and may God bless you.